Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to Philbert Flies, and we're back in the CRJ today, back stateside. We're at Washington Dulles here, and we're going to be taking this plane in United Express colours all the way up to Ottawa. I say all the way up like it's miles away. Oh, it's not actually, it's only about an hour and 10 minutes flight, but it should be a nice one. We've got good scenery at both ends. This is Flightbeam's Washington Dulles, which is a cracking little add-on airport. And we've got Roman Designs Ottawa at the other end, and I've reviewed both of those and I liked both of those, so I thought we'd fly between them. Anyway, a very warm welcome to those of you who are here early. Ian, Gibi, Jenny, Kyle, good morning. Matt, hello, welcome to you. Who else is here? Scott is here, nice to have you, Scott. Extreme Paul, you're here as well, and Dingo. And Caffel, welcome, welcome, and Dazza, lovely to see you all. Now, there has been a slight scheduling error today. This is, as you know, a CRJ700. It's operated by Mesa, call sign Air Shuttle, but they actually had rather too many passengers for this plane, so they've had to lay on a mainline fleet 737 to make up the shortfall, which, as you can see, is parked over here and will be flown by Mr. Ben Flightzilla. So a little bit of company, and thank you for joining me, Ben. I don't think anyone else is flying along today, but if you want to, you've got plenty of time, because what we're going to do now is get the aircraft set up from cold and dark, as this is the first flight of the day, and I thought it might be interesting for you. Max, hello, welcome. Hello, Martin, and Simon, hello to you. There he is, the man himself. Demetrius, hello. You weren't ignored. It was just there was a momentary delay while I talked rubbish, Max. This happens. It's nothing personal. Hello, Steve. Nice to see you back as well. Right, so here we are. We are in the cold and dark cockpit of the CRJ700, and I'm going to try and remember what I learned on my lesson with Michael. So we're going to go through the safety check flow first of all before we turn anything on. So we're going to start by checking that the circuit breakers are all closed, and I can tell you for a fact that they are. We're going to make sure that the nose wheel steering switch is off, and it is. We're going to make sure that the hydraulic pumps are off, and they are. We're going to make sure that the landing gear lever is down, and I'm going to check that on my throttle quadrant as well. Yep, that's down there. Flight spoiler lever is retracted, slats and flaps lever is set to 0 as it should be. The radar is off, and the ADG manual release is stowed, and the emergency flap switch is set to normal. Okay, so with that checked, we can turn the battery on. So I go up to the overhead panel, battery master on, and we have power. Now, before we do anything else, we're just going to check the electrical system synoptic page, or the DC electrical synoptic page anyway. So we'll choose elect down here, and what we want to check there is, so that's AC, so press it again for DC. We want to make sure that we have green all the way around, and we should have at least 22 volts DC, and we do. We've got 26 and 27, as you can see. Henry, hello, welcome to the stream, and Finbar, nice to see you too. It's true, Ben, it's true. Is this how you keep playing for destroying it by following checklists? It is, Jenny, yeah. Left a light but have to go on. Oh, no worries. Okay, I'll see you afterwards. We may still be here, Dazza. It takes me a little while to get everything set up. Hope it goes well. So that all being checked, we can now start the APU if we want to. We don't have to. We've got external power available. So let's turn that on for now. And we'll start the APU just a tiny bit later on. But don't let me forget. That's exactly the sort of thing I'm likely to forget. Anyway, got a little bit of air flowing now, as you can see. So before we start the APU, we will check the AC electro. I don't need to yet. We're going to make sure that the IRSs are set to nav down here, and they are not. And we'll have to release the parking brake to switch that switch, which is not ideal, but it's all right because our chocks are in. So both IRSs are in nav. Emergency equipment, that's all going to be checked by my co-pilot, who, I don't know where he's gone, but I'm sure he's done it. Gear and safety pins are on board. Aeroplane documents have been checked. Hydraulic 3A pump can stay off for now. And we'll have a quick look at our FMS and make sure that our nav database is in date. that our UTC is correct, the date's correct, etc. And that all looks absolutely fine. You should have seen me flying this plane the other day with no one watching, Ben. It was a thing of beauty. It always is when no one's watching. Okay, so that, I can tell you, is our safety check flow done, and the checklist just allows us to check all of these items that I've read off a list. We won't bother doing that. We can now do our originating check flow. So we're going to start basically working our way through the overhead panel. We're going to check the electrical power panel. DC service should be off, and it is. Battery master is on, obviously, because we just turned it on. IDGs should be dark and guarded, and they are. AC essential transfer switch should also be dark, no light. The gens should all be in auto, and they are. And now we're going to do our fire detection FireX monitor test. So this is one of these things that it's actually quite tricky for me to show you, or even to see myself. But basically we pull this, and we should see some lights lighting up. Sorry, push this. And you may have noticed down here these lights lit up, so that's a pass. Okay, back up to the overhead panel proper. Hydraulic shutoff valve, they should both be dark, and they are. External lights, we can turn the nav lights on, that'll do us for now. Fuel panel, boost pumps should be showing in op, they are. Everything else should be dark. Bleed air panel, normal auto, close and both engines, that's as it should be. APU, well, we don't have that on yet. Should we start it now? Let's start it now. So we'll press the power fuel button, and we'll come down here and make sure that we see the APU. Oh, need to go back to the stat page. We should have seen APU in byte. We now have APU SOV open, so we're now okay to start that. Press the start stop button. Ignition panel, that should all be off and dark, and it is. Hydraulic panel. Now we can do our hydraulic test, but before we do that, I'm gonna catch up with the chat in case I've missed anything. I still find it, despite doing this for a very long time now, I find it hard to balance doing stuff in the plane and catching up with what you're saying. I don't want to upset anyone. This will be a cracking stream. What more can you ask for watching the sky? Scott, you and I, we're going to have problems. We really are. This is becoming something of a habit. Funny how flights are. It is, Jenny. I know. Right, there we got a green light on the APU now, so we know that that's all started up. Right, so to do the hydraulic test, what we're going to do is click on the right window first of all. Bring up the hydraulic page here. So you can see at the moment we've got 0 psi on everything. We're going to switch everything except for 3A to the on position, so that's up. This is 3A, the second one in. Don't ask me why, it just is. And then we're going to check that everything has gone green on the hydraulic synoptic page, and we've got 3000 psi. Yes, we have. Now we're going to switch everything down into the auto position, with the exception of 3A, which we're going to switch off. Cool. At this point, I might as well deplane and jump on the 737 to Ottawa. Yeah. Cabin pressure panel. Let's have a look at that. That looks to be pretty good from where I'm sitting. Yeah, both of these are dark. Nothing to worry about up there. We'll turn the packs on, so they should go dark. We'll turn the recirculating fan on, and we'll turn the aft cargo air conditioning on as well. Moving on down to the anti-ice panel, we can turn the windshield heats to low. MISC lights, well, this is where we can turn on our dome light or change the brightness of stuff. Turn the standby compass to on, off or dim. We don't need any of that now, it's fine. We're going to make sure down here that the landing lights are off, the recognition taxi lights are off. We're going to make sure the ELT is set to arm, and it is. Passenger oxygen should be dark and closed. We can turn on our no smoking and seatbelt signs now, and we can arm our emergency exit lights. Now we're going to carry out the stall test. So basically we push and hold this button, the stick shaker comes on, the stick pusher comes on, and if we were looking from a different angle you'd see messages popping up there as well. clocks are fine, CVR test. It's the cockpit voice recorder. So we're just going to push this in, make sure the green light lights up after 5 seconds. And it does. Going to check our standby instruments, they all look good. We're going to check on the stat synoptic page now that the oxygen pressure is adequate, and it's 1850, so it is. We're going to do the anti-skid test, so we're going to release the parking brake. It's alright, as I said earlier, got chocks in, so parking brake's released, and we're going to switch anti-skid off, and we get anti-skid inbound and outbound warnings on there, so that's as it should be. Set the parking brake again, and now we're going to check the main landing gear bay overheat. So you heard the warning there, and this should bring up a main landing gear bay overheat fail message, which it has on the left MFD. The lights down here can be switched between bright and dim. We'll leave them on bright, and we'll test the lamps, which makes the aircraft light up like a Christmas tree. Okay, we haven't lost any lamps for any reason, so that's good. I'm going to check that the pitch and roll disconnect knobs are pushed in. They are. Spoilers and ground lift dumping, we're going to check that that's set to auto, and it is. We're going to arm the thrust reversers. We're going to check that the flight spoiler lever is at 0 degrees, which it is. If one of the tests failed, what I'd do probably is just jump on your plane, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. But I'm fairly confident they won't. Hello, Drift Bus Productions. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. Okay, now I've totally lost my place now. Where was I? Okay, thrust levers. Check that they are idle cut-off, and they are. Flaps still set to 0. RTU, we're going to do a TCAS test now. So we'll press the TCAS button, we'll press the test button, and we'll see some fake planes appear up here, and then we should get an audible warning.
TCAS system test OK.
There it is. Stab trim and Mac trim, we'll engage that now. And we may as well, I think, before I forget, set our transponder now to 7000. We'll turn that on a little bit later. We're going to check that our fans are set to normal, which they are. That's these two here. IRS is still set to nav. Now we should really check all of our trims now, run them all the way forwards and backwards. We're not going to bother with that because it takes ages and it's even more boring than the rest of what I'm doing here. Lighting panel. Well, we can bring up our integrated lights a little bit if we want to, or what have you. We're going to engage the yaw damper switches. Source select panel should be set to normal for everything, and it is. Cargo fire X panel, we're going to check that all 3 of those are dark, and they are. Right, now we can move over and run the checklist if we want to, which we'll do very quickly and silently. But yeah, here's our originating checklist. Just check I haven't forgotten anything. No, looks good to me. I don't know. I don't know where I've heard that now. 7,000 is normally VFR, isn't it? Not sure. I think maybe, alright, I think maybe I'm thinking it's 7,000, whereas in fact it's 2,200. I'm not sure. I don't think we'll get in trouble either way, but let's set it to 2,200. Yeah, I'm more sure. Yeah, that looks more right to me. Right, where are we? What are we doing now? FMS setup. Exciting times. Okay, so I'm going to get my flight plan up on this other screen here. Because, yeah, get me, I've got 2 screens now. It's very exciting. And we're going to run through this. So we've already checked the status page. So it's all good. In the Posinit page, we're going to put in our origin airport. KIAD. We're going to go to the next page and copy our GPS position. plonk that in here. And then we're going to go to the index page and check the IRS control page to make sure that IRSs are enabled, and they are. Same with the VOR DME, yes to VOR usage, yes to DME usage, happy with that. GNSS, both enabled, in fact 3 out of 3 enabled, so we're happy with that as well. Okay, over to the flight plan page, and we'll program in our route. So we are going from KIAD to CYOW, our alternate is CYUL, which is Montreal. No. Is that right? Yeah, it is. Thought I'd got the alternate and the destination mixed up for some reason. Part of Philbert safety brief is in the event of emergency life. It's true. It's true. Boat time. I've got to be honest, boat time. I don't. I'm ever so sorry, but it's nice to have you here anyway. Hello, Surrender. How are you? Well, what's up? Well, I'm too hot, but I'm quite pleased to be back in the CRJ, and yeah, it's all going well so far. I'm breezing through the entire cold and dark power-up procedure and all of the checklists because we're doing quite a short flight today, and I thought people might find it interesting. I have no idea if that's the case or not, but we've done the bit that I wasn't necessarily going to bother with now, so you're in time for all the interesting stuff. Right, so we put our flight number in, and now we'll go to the departure and arrival page. There's no ATC online, unfortunately, so we are going to choose whatever the hell we like for our departure. So we're going to take off from runway 30, and we're going to be following the Jerez 2 departure, which I'll show you in a minute. We'll execute that. Back to flight plan. Next page. So now we just type in the rest of our route. So from Jerez we're going to be following airway J220. You're not good. You weren't good because your school went to a trip and you could not. Also your crush got a boyfriend. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks, Surrender. Why couldn't you go on the trip? I am careful. I am. As you would all see if I had a camera. Right. So we're following J220 to Valo. Then J227 to ULW. From there we're going direct to Syracuse VOR, SYR, that's where Jenny is as we speak, I believe. And then we're going direct to ART VOR. We'll execute that, and if we go back to the departure and arrival, then we're going to choose a DEANS 2 arrival. No, we're not. We're going to choose a DEANS 1 arrival, and we're expecting an ILS 32 approach via, so obviously the transition is ART because that's where we end up, and we're going to choose a vector's leg. I think, let me just have a quick look at my charts like a pro. Hold on. So ILS 32. Oh yeah, we're totally going via YRR. That's our initial approach fix, pretty much. Good. Execute. And that should be us done. Now we can step through this flight plan. First of all, we'll get rid of any discontinuities. We can leave that vector's leg because this SID doesn't take us to the IDOR waypoint. So we'll be taking off on heading and pretending we're getting vectors from ATC, which is what we would expect in reality. We're going to put ART on top of ART to get rid of that discontinuity. Ooh. What's P-turn? I don't know what P-turn is. That is a new one on me. Tell you what, let's step through the flight plan and see if we can glean anything from that. If in doubt, delete it. That's my motto. Oh, a procedural turn. Well, yeah, we don't need that though. We can go from Texan straight in, so let's get rid of that. Delete. Yeah, that's right. Oh, we got Texan twice. No. Better way to do this. Put Texan on top of Texan. No, I didn't mean to do that. I think I just deleted it. Right. Select Texan. Paste it on top of this Texan. That should get rid of all of our procedural turns. And our next waypoint after Texan should be YRR, which it is. Okay, let's see if that has done what I want it to. I'm pretty sure it has. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Easy approach. You're in the air and climbing successfully. Marvellous. Good. Much appreciated. Hello, Tukiem. Welcome back, sir. Nice to have you here. How's life? I watched that video that you told me to watch, Tukiem. Forgotten her name. The girl who was singing about her dreams. Yeah, it was good. What's that in? What did you enjoy? Are you talking lunch or are you talking my cold and dark setup here? Or both? Okay, so we've got our route pretty much sorted out now. Yep. Done that. Right, so now we're going to go to the MFD menu and basically set up what we see on the PFDs. Oh, good. Lunch. Good. So we want VNav on the pilot captain's side, and we want the window on the first officer's side. So slightly different information showing in each, or there will be once we're underway anyway. So now we can set up our performance. Oh, actually, before we do that, we've just got to check the range. Altitude select is green. Okay, so over to the perf page, which I've lost. There it is. And we're going to we're going to check that advisory VNav is enabled, which it is. We're going to head to the fuel management page, and we're going to put in, we're going to check that the performance mode is predicted. This isn't where we put in our reserve fuel, is it? I thought it was. No. I'm going to go back to the perf menu, perf init. And before we do this, we're going to load the plane up with passengers and all that sort of thing. Yes, thank you, Ian. Well saved. Right, so performance. So all I do with this is I switch to 0 fuel weight, and rather than messing around with the number of passengers, etc., I just put in the 0 fuel weight figure in pounds. So that's going to be 58260, and our fuel is going to be 8514. 8514. Enter. We're going to set the payload in the sim. Now, for some reason, if you push it a second time, the centre of gravity moves slightly, so I always click it a few times. I'm going to make a note of our takeoff trim, which is 7.3. We'll set that later. And while we're here, we're just going to copy the perf init data to the FMS. And that's done all of that. So all we need to put in here now is a cruising altitude. We're going to cruise at flight level 350 today. Go to the next page, and we're going to put in our ISA deviation, which is going to be +5. And we're going to put in our average wind component for the cruise, which is going to be -8. Execute. Next page. This is where we put in our reserve fuel, which today is going to be £1,342. And we've allowed £500 of taxi fuel. Mariano, hello, welcome, good morning and welcome to you. What small payware airport do I recommend? Ooh, for small payware airports, there's quite a lot of choice. I really like A Coruña in northwestern Spain. I'm also a fan of Bastia Paretta, not because it's the most amazing airport, but the scenery around it is stunning, and it's quite nice. Yes, that's right, Dunia Mimpi. Yes, I watched it. I watched her, rather, I should say. Melon Lord, hello. Yes, I hope so too. It does take a lot of practice. It really does. Finally going to get on a plane next week. Nice. Where are you off to? You can ask the flights. You've been trained by me. Yeah, I'm sure they'll say yes. Did I get the Jakarta scenery? No, I haven't, Tukiem. No, not yet. Dingo was here. He might have fallen asleep. I'm not entirely sure. That's what happens sometimes because it's very late where he is. Okay, taxi fuel is in. So now we can go to the next page. Oh, this is the final page. VNAV time. So VNAV setup. This is absolutely correct. We want to climb at 290 knots, 0.74 Mach. Our transition altitude is 18,000 feet and our speed limit is 250 below 10,000. However, we're going to change the cruising speed. That's a little slower than it needs to be. So we're going to select 0.77 Mach. We can leave the IAS alone because obviously we're going to be looking at our Mach number instead by the time we're up there. And for the descent we can do 0.77 / 320, so we'll switch to 320 at the crossover. Execute. Takeoff speed time now. So back over here, settle, and boom, there they are on the PFD. We're going to switch from hectopascals to inches of mercury. We're going to get the latest METAR for our altimeter setting, and we want to be on 2994, so we'll just adjust that. There we are. And we will set our trim, our stabilizer trim, which I think I said was 7.3. So we're looking over here for that. And we're on 7.5 at the moment, so we just need to move that nose down just a smidge. There we have it, 7.3. And that's that bit done. FMS all ready to go. So we can move on to our before start flow. We're going to check that the little white arrow is pointing to the left, which it is. We're going to set our altitude. There are no constraints on our SID, I don't believe. Nope. So we're going to climb straight up to our cruising altitude of flight level 350. Ah, oh, he's here! He's here! Good. How are you, Dingo? You doing okay? When is it you're off to... I want to say Canberra, but I don't think it is Canberra you're going to. Yeah, when are you off anyway? From good old Buffalo, New York. Nice. Ah, the land of CRJs, eh? Oh, thank you, Ben. Yeah. Not long at all now. Okay, so we're going to set the heading bug to our runway heading. I just thought it was quite sweet, Tukiem. I thought it was quite a sweet little tune and a sweet little video. So we want runway. We're taking off runway 30, so we want our heading to be set to 301. Altimeters are set. We're going to do our landing elevation now. Going to set that to 280. And as always, you won't be able to see me do this, but I'm right-alt and clicking to pop out this screen, which won't show on the stream because I don't know. And I'm going to scroll this wheel up here to 280. And just to confirm, there we are, landing elevation 280. I'm going to check that our nav radios are set to auto, which they are. And we're going to do the before start checklist. Hooray! Passenger signs are on, landing elevation set, altimeters are set to 29904, and we're showing 330 odd feet. FMSs are checked and set, IRSs are aligned and nav, radios and nav aids are set to auto, takeoff briefing is complete. Woo, we're getting there team. I'm going to turn the transponder on now. Going to get some doors closed. So close the forward cargo, close the passenger door. I'll let you have a little look at that because it's quite cool and unusual in this sim to have working doors. We'll close the aft cargo. We don't need the ground power cart anymore, we'll get rid of him. And we'll remove the wheel chocks. Right, we're tuned to 122.8, so we can talk on Unicom. But before we actually push back, we'll do our clear to start flow. So we'll turn on our fuel boost pumps, turn on the hydraulic 3A pump, check the rest are in auto, which they are, turn on our beacon light, and we'll double check that our nose wheel steering is switched to off, which it is. Okay, cleared to start checklist. Generators are auto, electrics have been checked, bleed valves are auto, packs are on, APU's on, anti-ice we don't need, nose wheel steering. I'm looking at the wrong checklist. Noob. Alright, let's do this one instead. Yeah. All fine, absolutely fine. Okay, so let's get out of here. Gonna use Pushback Express for this. I don't know, Melon Lord. I think that I only tend to use the Z key. That's the only one I use. How is my parking brake not set? Yeah, and that seems to work.
Go ahead, flight deck. We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Ooh, that
Roger.
sounds nice.
Release the parking brakes, please. Parking brakes released.
Chasing down some
Pushing
boats in
back.
a race. Nice. So you're really... Ah, Darwin. That's right. That's right. Yeah. I knew it was somewhere in Australia. Oh dear. Dulles traffic, Air Shuttle 6191 pushing back from stand 2 Echo. Oh dear, it's a bit of a problem with the pushback tug. Utter carnage. Utter carnage. What is he doing? It's wiggling about. You've got connecting onto will we arrive on time? It's a good question. Good question. So it's 12:22 Zulu. Do you know? I wouldn't say no. What's the time in the sim? I don't know how we're going to get out of here if that tug doesn't sort itself out. Let's try cancelling that. Abort the pushback, see if he moves somewhere better. Okay, so it's 8:23. We were scheduled to depart at 8:10, so we're about 15 minutes behind schedule. But I imagine we'll make up some time en route. Ah, nice. Thanks, Jenny. Indeed. Who the heck did that? I don't know. He's obviously drunk though, isn't he? Right, let's try once more. If not, we can always slew.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead, flight deck. We are ready for pushback and engine start. Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
How's about you move your tug into position before I release the
Parking brakes released.
eh?
Pushing back.
This is ridiculous. I don't even care if the tug disappears. Power back with reversers. Yeah, we could do that. Could do that. Yeah, that's probably marginally better than slowing back, isn't it? Okay. Tug challenge mod, yeah. Oh dear. Right, stop. Let's try once more.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead, flight deck.
Because now he's driven into the building, maybe he can get a better angle, I don't know.
Please. Parking brakes released. Pushing back.
Come on, this looks better. This looks a lot more promising.
Watson and Chet, United 1634, pushing start to Charlie.
Look, this is looking good though. Look, he's managing it. He's managing it. I have absolutely no idea which direction we want to face, and I could have used this time productively. Yeah, we're going to want to turn right the way around.
You are clear behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
Hooray. Okay, so starting engine 2. So we're waiting for 20% of N2. Right, there's 20% and a little bit. So, thrust lever to idle. And we'll start our turn. Because this has a crazy, these tugs have crazy bad turning circles. Someone buy the driver a beer for working out. But you think he's had enough as is? Yeah, I think he has. Maybe after work. Well, it's not me, is it? It's the blooming pushback driver and the catering truck driver. You just can't get the staff in this sim. I care about an A380. I'd be very keen to get my hands on one. Now Ben's pushing back. It's got an even worse turning circle going forward. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, there we are. That'll do. That'll do. I think we've had enough pushing back, haven't we? Really.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please. Parking brakes set. Roger.
Does it?
Okay,
I should try that
toolbar is disconnected and the equipment is clear. We will see you on the right-hand side with the pin. Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals. Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
Was that you, Ben? I genuinely, I didn't realise. I was like, "Where's Stu Charlie? Must be nearby," but I could only see Ben. That was a good accent if that was you. Right. Anyway, getting distracted again. So engine 2 has started beautifully, and I enjoyed starting that one so much. I think we'll start the other one. Right. Again, waiting for 20% of N2. Making sure that the ITT is under 120. Well, it is because it's the first flight of the day. There's 20%. Click, click. Boom. And I'm just going to check that my thrust levers are working. It's kind of optional, Jenny. One, you know, you can get by on one. So we'll just wait for engine 1 to stabilise. ITT still coming down. Should be at about 121, same as the other one. Good, that's stabilised. So now we can get rid of the APU, start, stop, power, fuel. We're going to set, we don't need any anti-ice, it's lovely and warm, but we do need to turn the probes on. We'll set our flaps to 8. And we'll arm the nose wheel steering so that we can taxi. After start checklist. Generators are auto, I know this. Electrics, all done. We'll do our flight control check by going to the flight control synoptic page. Yep, they're all working beautifully. We'll check the electrical synoptic pages just to make sure we don't have any issues there. Yep, both gens and IDGs are in the green, and on the DC page everything's in the green, so that's good. Back to stat. And now we'll do our taxi checklist. It is a tough choice in this economy. Yeah, this sim is, as we know, it's not to be trusted when it comes to icing, but I think even that this will be okay. 18 degrees, a few clouds around, but should be fine. Okay, taxi checklist. Flaps are set to 8, flight controls have been checked, trims have been checked and they're in the green, thrust reversers are on, flight instruments have been checked, brake temperatures are also absolutely fine, we've got no red. Okay, at long last, we can taxi. So we're going to go via Charlie and Yankee. Dulles traffic, Air Shuttle 6191, taxiing to runway 30 via Charlie and Yankee. Suddenly lost the ability to speak. Taxi lights on and parking brakes off. Bit of power and off we go. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that, boss. That's exciting. We're getting our lander, aren't we? That's the bit I'm most excited about. Ben, what flight level are you cruising at? It's usually about 5 PM UK time. Girov, thank you for subscribing and sorry for inevitably having butchered your name there. Welcome to the channel. If anyone else hasn't subscribed, I'd love it if you would. That was a perfect reminder. Yeah, just click the subscribe button down below, click the thumbs up button if you'd like to. All helps. 370, roger. RB 350. So you can probably fly over the top of me at some point. No, the 900 1000 is not out yet. We don't have a date as far as I'm aware. Koya, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, join, and Mike H, thank you very much. Yes, join Club Filbert and I'll tell you all the secret things that I didn't tell you during the 2.5-hour lesson that I recently released. Do buffaloes have wings? They do not, Tukiem, no. Yeah, we'll see, Ben. No pressure, no pressure. It is soon, they've just released it. Someone posted in my Discord when the DC-6 is out, and I can't remember off the top of my head. There isn't a 737 in this game, he's in X-Plane. So it's just a model from IVAL. Wait, I'm suddenly unsure if I want to go left or right on Yankee. I'm pretty sure it was left, but I've been hurt by my unjustified certainty before. Yeah, it is left. Do we know how much it is yet? Because I think that'll be a deciding factor for me. She starts the truck driver, yeah.
Washington Traffic United 1634, taxi and holding point runway 30 via Charlie and Yankee.
Sounds like that captain's putting on a northern British accent to me. I don't know. I've no idea. You'd have to ask an American, Tukyam. Oh, you're 5 minutes behind. Well, welcome to the present, Demetrius.
Correction, United. Washington Traffic United 1634, taxi and holding point runway 30 by Charlie and Yankee.
Uncanny. Right, what are we doing now? Should probably do some before takeoff actions in a minute. We'll wait till we're at the holding point, then I won't forget anything. Has the CRJ had an update since the 1 week ago or so? No, I don't think so. I think that's the most recent, about a week ago. He is, Kyle. I'm pretty sure he is. Do you know why they're called buffalo wings? I will do no such thing, Max. I'm enjoying it. Perfect timing for the Reese's. Then first the DC6. Yeah, it's true, Simon. Actually, yeah. Ah, I never knew that, Kyle. Thank you. I always learn something on these streams. A national restaurant chain called Buffalo Wild Wings. Right, okay. Nice. So we're going to stop at this hold short point, and then we'll do all of our before takeoff stuff, which won't take a second. Then we'll be on the way. Set the parking brake a minute. Okay, so we're going to turn the strobes on. Going to turn the landing lights on. And we leave the taxi lights on for takeoff, the recognition taxi lights on as well. I'm going to turn our crossflow auto override on. Make sure that the TCAS and transponder are on, which they are because I did that earlier. Check our CAS messages. Nothing there that we wouldn't expect. And as we line up, we'll push the toga button. Dallas Traffic Air Shuttle 6191 lining up runway 30. Good. It sounds like a fair trade-off to me, Kyle. High-class. You do. You have amazing food in the States. Some of the best meals I've ever had were in New York. I don't know if you've ever been. The best place we went to was a place called Yerba Buena, which is sort of a Latin, sort of pan-South American restaurant. And it was just one of those places where every single thing we ordered was amazing and unusual. And yeah, I still have flashbacks to that restaurant. It was that good. Okay, so I'm going to press the toga button on the side of our throttles, which will arm the flight, turn the flight director on, give us a pitch up bar. Check the heading, should be 301, and it is. Okay, let's do this, Dulles traffic, Air Shuttle 6191 taking off runway 30, departure to the north. And I'm going to be concentrating on the takeoff for a little while. And I'll catch up with you, chat, once we're in the air. Toga.
Washington traffic United
80 knots.
Line at runway 30.
V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. We're going to turn on speed and heading. And we're going to engage the autopilot. Now we can accelerate to 250 knots. Flaps 1. And at 200 knots, flaps up. Bring the thrust levers back to climb power. And I think we'll assume now that we've got a vector to proceed on our course. And head direct to Idor. If we go down to the FMS, we'll use the direct intercept page to go direct to Idor there. Execute. And now we can switch to nav mode. We can turn off our crossflow auto override now. Now we're in the air. And we will do our climb checklist. No, we won't. We'll turn the thrust reversers off and then we'll do our climb checklist. Fuel crossflow is auto, bleeds and APU is set, thrust reversers off, and CAS has nothing but seatbelts and no smoking on it, which is good. And I'll let you have a little look outside, and maybe we can see Ben taking off. Right, what have I missed in the chat? Rattlesnake in a can? What on earth is that? Like, to eat? I've never heard of it.
Departure on 30,
There he comes, can just about see him, see his lights. Here he comes. What, as the kids say, a unit. Getting ready to cross over into Michigan, still in the air. Oh, congrats. Yeah, all of my stuff about what I use is in the description for me there, as Kathleen says. About all you remember from America, Hawaii, was that the meal portions were goddamn huge. Yes. I can't see him now. Anyway, I'm confident that he's safely in the air. Should be passing 10,000 feet now, and we are. So we'll turn off the landing lights and the recognition taxi lights, and we'll increase our climb speed to 290. Ugh. I wish there was a better way of twiddling these knobs.
Boston traffic United 1634 airborne up 2000, turning right to the north.
UK and Europe have a better culture of places to eat and enjoy company. Everyone sits on their cell phones here as well, Kyle. In the UK at least. I think you're right. I think continental Europe perhaps is a little bit more sociable still. Just applied on VATSIM and successfully finished the exam. Congrats! Congrats, Dropkick. Is that to be a pilot or a controller? Love the meals in Prague. Okay. I mean, I love Prague. I don't remember the food particularly though. They should, I think. I think Dunlop are missing a trick there. Turn the seatbelt sign off, it's nice and smooth. You're airborne now because of the heroic actions of the brave truck driver. Yes. So now we're looking for our conversion altitude. So when our Mach hits 0.74, we want to switch to Mach hold from speed hold. Passing 18,000 feet, set standard pressure. 29902, set. Do I know haggis? I do know haggis, yes. I quite like haggis. But it's not a regular meal in England so much. So much as it is in Scotland. Camera Mini, please help. When I'm starting the engines on the A310X with Control E, only one engine will accelerate. No, I've never started the engines with Control E, so I don't know if you're able to. You might be better off. It's not particularly hard to start the engines by hand. All you need to do is make sure your APU is on, your APU bleed is on, and then down here you'll have a engine mode selector, which you should click to the right. It'll say ignition start, and then you can flick the switches for engine 2 on, and then once that's started, engine 1. It may just be that Control E and the other sort of simple controls don't work with the mod, I'm not certain. Ah, right, yeah. Are you using the Bravo quadrant? Yeah, mine doesn't adjust anything in this plane either. I have tried in the past. Do I ever have an English afternoon tea? Sometimes. Sometimes I do. Yeah? So what flight sim equipment do I use? Everything is in the video description, but now we're in the air, I can run you through it. So I have a Thrustmaster T16000M joystick. I have the Thrustmaster TFRP rudder pedals and the Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant. And I also use Track IR. WMKI Ground, hello! Welcome to the stream, how are you? You've got me googling where WMKI is. Sultan Azlan Shah. In Malaysia, nice! And do you control ground there? No worries, Camera Mini. I hope it works for you. Here in Germany, at least, it's sometimes enforced a rule. First person who looks at his phone has to buy the next round of beers. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. All right, no worries, Ian. No worries. Yeah, it's a pity the weather's breaking, isn't it? I say scones. People say only posh people say scones, and normal people say scones. But All of my posh friends say scones, it must be said. I've always said scones. Don't have the throttle or pedals mentioned in the description. Oh, don't I? Do you know, I do in some videos. I must, basically I copy them, I use one as a template, and I think I used the last CRJ stream as a template, which was before I had updated that. I'm going to do it right now, because otherwise I sound like a liar and a fool. Sorry, I think I was saying 0.77. We want to climb at 0.74 max, so we're nearly there. I'm keeping an eye on that while also trying to update my YouTube. What could go wrong? Right, here we are, it's 0.74 Mach. Press the button, and we're now going to climb at 0.74 Mach. Easy peasy. Right, full system specs should now be in the video description. Just got your kebab and missed takeoff. Ah, that's the main thing, Finbar. As long as you're here with your judgmental eyes for the landing, that's all that matters. Cream or jam first? Jam, personally. Your friends, you gather your bank cards and let the server choose one card which pays. Oh, really? What a fun way of doing it. As long as there isn't one person with a much more attractive card. You're just 16 years old, boy, and control the Malaysian airspace is GOFS. And GOFS. Ah, right, interesting. I've never tried GOFS. Oh good, they're cutting some concrete in the road. Can't help noticing that our airspeed is slipping ever so slightly. Okay, we're gaining speed again, not a problem. We are still in climb, aren't we? Yes, we are. Will I make a flight from Stockholm Arlanda? Yes, for sure. Absolutely. It's true, man. Oh my god, that is so loud. What I'm going to have to do is shut the windows. Bear with me a second. Right, windows shut, windows shut. Ah, it's Thames Water. I mean, you can't fault them, I do like having water. But could they not have picked a slightly different time to saw the pavement, you know? So we're reaching our cruising altitude of flight level 350, which means we can increase our speed bug to Mach 0.77. And we'll also increase the range down here so that we have a better idea of where we're going, and we'll sync our heading. You wouldn't, Jenny, would you? You wouldn't. Yeah, I might give it a go, Carl. It's not my neighbour, no, it's the water people. They're replacing a water pipe under the pavement. And I got a parking ticket because I didn't see the parking was suspended the other day, which is really irritating. Because I swear there was no sign there when I parked my car. Anyway, Camera Mini 76, thank you very much for subscribing. Now I think it's probably got to that time in the flight where I tell you a little bit about what you can do if you'd like to support my channel. So obviously you can subscribe, you can give the video a thumbs up, that's all very helpful indeed. But you can also help with your wallets if you want to. So you can make a donation via streamlabs.com/filbertflies, or you can subscribe to Club Filbert, which is my YouTube membership program, and that gives you access to perks in return for a very small monthly contribution. Club Filbert Bronze is $1.99 a month, and it gives you access to exclusive private members only channels on my Discord server. It gives you custom members only badges and custom emojis to use in the YouTube chat. You'll see that Caffel and Jenny and Melon Lord and Jason, welcome by the way, all have these very fetching badges. If you want to pay £5.99 a month, which is still an absolute bargain, then you can join Club Filbert Silver and you'll get an exclusive private members only live stream / group flight once a month. And our next one is happening this coming Sunday, so it's a very good time to join Club Filbert Silver. If you want to know more, just click the join button down below. It is so hot, Jason, and I've just had to shut the window because Thames Water are digging up the road and it's too loud. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, sorry, Caffel. I forgot about wing views entirely. It's, yeah, Jenny is very excited. As you know, she's maintained her level of excitement for months now. That she's been in Club Filbert. In fact, she upgraded from bronze to silver not a month ago, I think. So yeah, thank you again for doing that. I'm not really that into fighter jets, F1 Racer, and we don't. Do we have any fighter jets for this sim yet? I don't know. There's certainly none included, so it means spending money on a payware add-on for something that I'm not that interested in. Sorry. Plenty of others flying them though, I'm sure. Du liebst YouTube, Tukiem. Good, good. No, we don't. I don't have air conditioning in my home. It's not very common in the UK. I know it is in America. Everyone has an air conditioner, but no, it's quite rare here. We don't get that many days that are hot enough to justify it. But on days like today, I really wish I did. The price for membership is £1.99, or the local equivalent, for Club Filbert Bronze, and £5.99 for Club Filbert Silver. Willie, hello, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you? Have you recovered from your disappointing server issue? What about the DC-6? I'm not sure about the DC-6. For me, it'll depend on the price. The flight's going really well, actually, Jason. Yeah. Going really well. Did a whole cold and dark startup. Didn't forget anything. Even remembered to switch my landing lights off at 10,000 feet. So yeah, so far so good. I haven't looked at the Xbox trailer. What does it come with? Oh, Finbar, don't apologise. Doesn't matter. I'm very glad that you're donating to a charity instead. Don't you worry. It's always welcome when people join Club Filbert Silver or make a donation. But yeah, I totally appreciate that not everyone has the means to do it, and that's absolutely fine. That was rotten. Yeah, that really sucked, Willie. Is it Dark Fury you were going to have on Sunday? He was going to talk about livery creation, I think. Yeah, that sounded really interesting. Have you rescheduled it, or have you got such a full schedule for upcoming shows that it's hard to squeeze in? Heading over Lake Michigan. Let's see if. Yeah, let's. There's always a bit of a slideshow coming into O'Hare, I feel, but it's worth it. Worth it for the views. I do. I rarely forget anything critical to flying the plane, but my latest thing that I seem to forget almost every flight is the landing lights. I don't know why. So I'm very excited that I remembered them today. It does still fly. There's a few still flying. Not in commercial service, but there's a few that have been kept alive. £1.99 or £5.99 WMKI. If you click the join button down below, you'll see it in your local currency. I know, I understood, Tukyam. Yeah, yeah. It's easy to forget. There's a lot to remember. Hence, it's easy to forget. Oh, Simon, I didn't know it still flew commercially as a cargo plane. But I knew about the private. I know there's a few privately owned ones. DirectX 12 for us. Are we getting DirectX 12 when the Xbox release comes out? Ooh, just when I was thinking about maybe getting a new graphics card, I might hold off and see how it does. Dark Fury is on. I mean, an absolute... Yeah. Ah, July. Okay, well it's not too long to wait. Just got MSFS on PC, getting the hang of the Cessna 152 and Cub. Going to step up to a jet. Are you enjoying it, BKS? Fernando from Coronado will be interviewed in July. Nice, nice. Oh, so for those of you who don't know who Willie is, he hosts a show on Sky Blue Radio, which is an internet web radio station. And he interviewed me on it, I don't know, about a month ago, something like that. But he's on every Sunday at 1300 Zulu. So if you're at a loose end on a Sunday, well worth a listen. The guests are always interesting. The songs are generally good. It's a good way to spend a couple of hours. Getting GPU in right now is really not the best idea. I know. But I've been saying that for a year. And the 3080 Ti's out, and I had to look for that, and there's no stock. I just don't know if it's ever going to be a better time. Do you know what I mean? It feels like they're not fixing the problems with them all being snapped up by idiots. But yeah, I'm not desperate still. Ah, good call. Yeah, the Thrustmaster joysticks are good. No worries, Willie. Don't make them like they used to. It's true. It's true they don't. That is amazing, actually, isn't it? Yeah. They still got a DC-6 flying. Or several DC-6s flying, and yet the A380s are retiring. So, should we have a little look at our route? I'm going to have to sign in again, aren't I? Bear with me a mo. This is something else that I need to get used to doing before I start the stream, I guess. I'm just not used to having Navigraph in the sim at the moment, yet. Right. We got sick of waiting for 3080 and went for 3090. Right, yeah, that'll do it. I think that's what Mark was saying, isn't it? He reckons late 2022 before things go back to normal, if I remember rightly. So this is our route. I'll show you our SID chart. The Jerry's 2. And as you can see, it's not a SID as we know them in Europe. It's very much take off, fly this heading, and get vectors to Idor. So we vectored ourselves to Idor and then onto Jerry's, and that all went very nicely. So now we are flying over, I don't know, near Williamsport. I wonder if we can see Williamsport anywhere. Should be behind us and to the right. I guess it's this general area down here, perhaps. And we're going to be continuing northeast over Mansfield, in between Corning and Southport, flying overhead Cayuga Lake and some other smaller lakes, Owasco And Scania Tellers, maybe? Maybe. Supposed to be able to pronounce things when they're in an English-speaking country, surely. Overhead Syracuse, where Jenny took off from, not that long ago. And skirting around the eastern edge of Lake Ontario, over Brockwell on the Canada-US border, just the Canadian side of it. And then coming into Ottawa. And our star today is going to be the Dean's one, which I'll show you. With the Watertown ART-VOR transition. So we're going to be flying from ART to Cyril, and then to Texan, and then joining the approach for runway 32. So pretty straightforward. Then we'll be moving on to the ILS. There's Texan, Bosch, straight in. Job's a good one. So there you are, that's an overview of our flying route. Just going to have a check of the speed, because you do have to keep an eye on it, and it's got incredibly low because I wasn't keeping an eye on it. So we're going to give it a good whack of power to get that speed back up. This is the trouble with the CRJ, you can't leave it to it and go and admire the scenery. Talk of the town is Turtle Beach dropping the Xbox Yo. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. It did come out of it. MS owns Turtle. Oh, do they? I didn't know that either. You have to log in every single time. I know. But once you've logged in, as of an update a few weeks back, it does seem to keep you logged in even when you close the window. Whereas in the early days, every time you shut it and came back, you had to log in, which is, yeah. Not so good. What's the jelly? What's the jelly of the month club? Halfway there, almost. Yeah. Yeah, me too, Simon. Me too. The Finger Lakes. There we are. Learning a lot. Ah, look who's back. It's Mr. Scott the Stirrer. Welcome back, Scott. I hope I've been providing appropriate background noise to your day of work. Yeah. I think I need to widen my detents a little bit, but... Now the good thing is that if you had lost that much speed before the update, and with hindsight this was very much what I intended to do to demonstrate, the aircraft would have really struggled to regain the airspeed, and you'd have had to have descended quite sharply to get the speed back up, in my experience. Whereas now, push the thrust levers all the way forward, and jobs are good, which is good. You convert the Malaysian ringgit to pound sterling. Oh, okay. Is it a good deal in Malaysian ringgits, WMKI, for Club Filbert? That's the question. Because it's a bargain in British pounds. You're working with me on in the background as well. Good. You're very welcome. So, as you can see, our top of descent has appeared. Not too far off, actually, so I'm just going to have a quick look at Volanta, see what Ben's up to and if there's any other traffic about. I wish I could zoom in on Volanta without the sim zooming in. I could if I remember to click on the window, I suppose. He's doing 438 knots of ground speed. Oh no, that's me. I'm doing 438 knots of ground speed. Where is Ben? I can see him on the map actually, but it won't show me him. Ah, there he is. He's doing 443 knots. So he's going a little bit faster, but there appears to be a reasonable amount of spacing, so I don't think we've got anything to worry about there. The update, yeah, the update I think has fixed the thrust. The latest update also fixed the pitch bar on the flight director, which was wrong as of the update before it. It's got the custom localizer. Do I mean custom localizer? I think I do. No, I don't. I mean the custom glide slope capture, which seems to work pretty well. It doesn't work flawlessly. I have had one approach where it just wouldn't fly the log. There's other stuff as well. I can't remember everything, but it certainly is a lot better than it was. It's 43p. Can't be, can it? I mean, yeah, you're very welcome, Scott. It's always an absolute pleasure. You know, getting a little bit of abuse at the beginning of the stream, and then knowing that you're not actually watching properly anyway, just using me much like you might use whale sounds. But no, I jest, of course. I'm glad. You're in my slipstream now. Am I using the VNAV descent setting? No, I'm doing it manually because it doesn't. Because it's a 700 and it doesn't have VNAV unless you cheat. 25 miles behind. Oh, that's plenty. Yes, but the VNAV's fake. It's got fake custom VNAV, which is I suppose good for mortals, but not needed for a sky god. Okay, let's make a start at thinking about our descent, shall we? So we're going to set our landing elevation. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to look at the charts again. It's going to be... What's it going to be? About 371, I think. Airport info. Parking stands. .367, so I'll do what I did before. Right alt, bring that out. You can't see it. Brought the wrong one out. Close that one. Right alt, click the other one. There we are. So we've got it set to 280 now, so we'll crank it up to 360. There it is, landing elevation 360. Just add in a little bit more throttle because we are getting a little slow again. What else are we going to do? Get our weights and stuff imported. Landing data, in other words, from the EFB. Not weights, landing speeds. So we're going to have a VREF of 134. And our V approach should be that plus half the gusting wind speed. So let's get the latest METAR. No gusts. So we'll be approaching at 134. Sky's clear, very nice. Altimeter 299.3. Wind is 280 at 10 knots. So a little bit of a crosswind, but nothing to worry about. We're going to put the ILS frequency in the standby field, and that's going to be 110.3, or as they say over here, 110.3. 110.3, there we are, that's ready to go. And we'll set our minimums, which for a Category 1 ILS are going to be 571 barometric. So move from decision height to MDA, push the knob in, MDA field pops up, and we'll scroll that up to 571. Only do it in tens. 570, I don't think the extra foot's going to matter too much, especially as it's going to be cav okay. $600 foot or so. What was that for? Oh, the elevation. Thank you. I mean, it was the thought that counted, Willie. Of course not, Jason. Of course not. I don't know. Your chat seems to be working now, Tikian. 18.3. They abbreviate as, yeah, it's true. It's true. Works though. What's a bit sussy? Oh, Max, I want to cancel the stream now and download that thing you've just sent. That looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. Very exciting, and thank you very, very much. I don't know, Tukyam. I really don't know. Let's have a look at our descent checklist. Landing elevation set. Fuel, absolutely fine. TCAS is still set to auto. Radar is on. Actually, radar's not modelled in this, is it? CAS has nothing there. Landing data set. Approach briefing. Well, sadly, there's no one to brief. We've just got our no smoking sign on. Fine. Fine, fine. We're good for descent. And what we'll do is we'll come down to the direct intercept page, and then we're ready to start following these rates down. So the star that we're following has at or below constraints. So we want to be at or below 8,000 feet by Cyril here. So I think that's what we'll use to calculate our descent rate initially, and then we'll go down further once we get there. Ah, there we are. There's the answer. And once again, I've missed CAFL in action. I could brief you. I could brief you, but and I know you wouldn't judge me, most of you, but I would also feel like a bit of a weirdo. There will be a briefing on Saturday though, when I'm flying with Ben, so you can look forward to that. Hello, Matthew. So if you're given 118.475, all you say is 1847. Really? I didn't know things were abbreviated that much. Anyway, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Are we in a Canadian airspace now? It's a very good question. Let's have a look. No. So actually we won't be in Canadian airspace until we begin on the star. So yeah. There's the border here. Oh, and we're going over the Finger Lakes. We should have a look at the Finger Lakes, especially as we know what they're called now. There they are. Willie, can you tell me anything about the Finger Lakes? Why are they finger shaped? Why aren't they normal lake shaped? Or anyone else? So when I did my lesson with Michael, he told me that actually this isn't how it looks in the real aircraft, and it will give you... I can't remember actually. I can't remember exactly what he said. But the take-home message was that we just need to pick a descent rate that takes us down to our next most restrictive constraint, which is why I'm going to look at Cyril, because we need to be at or below 8,000 feet by then. Although, funnily enough, it's putting us at 8,600 feet, so that is unusually incorrect. So let's change that to 8,000 or below. It's interesting, isn't it? I've got so used to... that didn't work. Why didn't that work? 8,000 or below? Maybe it's because it didn't have a slash? Sure, that's how... There it is. And then at Texan, it's giving us 2,700 or above. Let me just check the approach chart. So on the star it says that we need to be at 3,000 or above. So let's change that. Slash 3,000 or above. YRR, which is on the approach. Doesn't have an altitude given, so we'll leave that be. And runway 32 at 420. Good enough for me. Execute that. Back to the direct intercept page. Still no ATC online. So we could probably, if we wanted to, start down now at 1,700 feet per minute. Have a slightly more gentle descent than what the aircraft's calculated. Let's do that. So we'll reduce the altitude selector down to 8,000. We'll engage vertical speed mode and we'll set it to 1,700. And we'll bring our thrust levers right back to maintain that speed of 0.77 Mach. Awesome. Sorry, I've missed loads of chat all of a sudden. A few days ago you saw in Flight Radar 24 5 or 6 Air Serbia A319s fly exactly the same route with the same turns from an Egyptian airport to Belgrade. I wonder if they've been storing them out there or something. Just Nature were a very popular cottage and camping areas. Oh right, interesting. Forward slash? Ah yes, you were right. But funnily enough, when you just put in an altitude constraint without the above or below, you don't need to put the slash. I don't understand why that would be different, but apparently it is. I've heard that actually. I've heard that. So ground point niner. Yeah. Yeah. Flight is rough. Your only flight attendant keeps harassing you by slip. I can only apologise for the staff, Kyle. Negative platform at 2,700 at Texan. Oh really? But on the star it says at or above 3,000 for runway 32. And on the ILS it doesn't have text. On the ILS chart it doesn't have text in the altitude. But alright, fine. We'll go with 2,700. I'll trust you, Willie. See, no slash and it goes in, because we don't have an A or a B. So we've just converted to the airspeed, and we don't want it to be 265. We want it to be, we want to maintain for a bit longer, Mach 7.7. And then we want to convert at 290, I think. No, 310. Let's just see. So we still want 1,700 feet per minute, and it's still giving us a reasonable descent rate between Cyril and Texan. So that's all good. Also, YOW does not have an ILS DME. There's a secondary VOR for DME. Oh, you're right, yes. So we'd be looking at the DME from Ottawa VOR. Should probably tune that on nav2 then, shouldn't we? 114.6. So that can come off auto. Oof, getting a little fast here. And we're just flying over our calculated top of descent, so we should have VNAV guidance any moment now. Yes, I do update the nav data for the CRJ. You can do it in the beta installer now as well. Just set a pic in the Discord of a 747 economy cabin in the 60s. Oh, nice. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I'm going to have to show people that. Why is that not coming up? There we are. Look at that. Those were the days to fly, eh? Just beautiful. Camping out in the lab. Tell her if she keeps trying to enter, you'll light a cigarette. Oh dear. Right, so we need to convert to IAS from Mac now. Bring it down to 310, and we'll try and maintain that for a little bit longer. Disregard on Texan. Oh, I'm sorry, I've fallen well behind with the chat. I've not disregarded, I've regarded, Willie. It's too late. It's too late. That's what we're doing now. I trusted you, and now that's what's happening. 2,700 at Texan. Don't know, it's weird because they were airborne at the same time. Yeah, that is weird. Can't understand that. Unless they sent all of their flight crews out on a bit of a jolly or something to pick them up. Must have looked like VATSIM group flight in real life. Yeah. Riley, hello! I'm very well, thanks. How are you? Nice to have you back. If it's go home day, you transition to 330 to you. You can tune it into the active of nav1, press DME hold, then switch back to the localizer, have the DME come from the VOR. Oh! Do you know, that rings a bell. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. What were we doing? 114 points. Oh, hello. Didn't mean to do that. 114.6. I think. Is that right? See, so many different pieces of information. Yeah, 114.6. Active. DME hold. And now we may as well tune the localizer, I guess. 110.3. Good. We shall see how well that works. Thank you, Matthew. Just a request, can I fly a plane from Addis to Sipo? I don't think there's any scenery for either of those places, unfortunately, to Kim, so not at the moment. Just got home from the gym. Oh, get you. At least you get a good look at Ottawa, yeah, exactly. Oh, welcome to the Discord, BKS. I know, everyone does look so chilled and, yeah, and refined. I think it's day 16 of total lockdown in Malaysia. Really? I'm sorry to hear that. Indeed, Kyle, indeed. One in the middle of the night and you're just looking over what's going on over Thessaloniki and you saw that. Amazing. Extreme Paul, welcome back. Dare we have a look outside? Yes, we dare. Yeah. Yeah. I do like the continental tail. Can't help feeling it's a little bit cheeky of United to just pinch it after the merger, but I suppose that's how mergers work. Keep the best of both. Are we in Canada? Almost. So we're going to be crossing a river. The St. Lawrence River. Of course it's the St. Lawrence River. Should have known that, having been to Montreal a couple of years back. So once we cross the river, we'll be in Canada. And there's the river. That's weird. Restream chat seems to have given up, doesn't it? I don't know why. Oh no, it's just got a bit behind, I think. That picture was taken during the first Spirit Airlines flight. Brockville, eh? No redeeming qualities at all. It must have something going for it. I was saying earlier, Willie, before you got here, to the other Canadian. I can't remember who's the other Canadian. There's at least one other here. I was saying that once the 900 comes out, I'm going to do a little bit more flying in Canada, I think. But also more flying in Europe because, you know, there's just loads of them about. It's true, Dimitri. What's the question mark exclamation mark about, Paul? What does that mean? Right, so we've passed through transition level. So we'll set standard, which is going to be 29093, not a massive difference. And we'll turn the seatbelt sign on as well. Give them time to calm down and take their seats. Why am I looking there? And we're going to need our thrust reverses, of course, for landing, so we'll arm them again now, so we don't forget later. Calgary to Castlegull. Okay, sounds nice. Geeby, that's the one. That's the one. For some reason, Geeby, for a long time I thought you were Australian, and now I know you're Canadian. I still can't get used to it. Border is still closed for US citizens entering Canada, is it? We're in 2016 here, Carl. That's the last time this flight flew, I think. A happier time. Is it? That's the, well, I'm looking forward to it, Matthew. The Egyptian airport was Hurghada. Ah, okay, okay. Once again, YouTube didn't send the message, who knows? So you have a huge question. You did set everything like volumetric clouds, film grain, but your clouds are in distance still grainy. I haven't experienced that myself. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know, Paul. I'm sorry. I wish I could help. I thought they fixed that a while ago with an update. Like a good few sim updates ago. Why I twiddled the wrong knob there. Last thing you want to do is twiddle the wrong knob. So our decision altitude is 570. There we are. This is the river, yeah, this is the St. Lawrence River. So we are, as we speak, entering Canada. And I believe this is Brockville, which Willie asserts has no redeeming qualities at all. Where's PEI? Okay, so let's get our thrust levers back to idle. And what I'm going to do is just reduce our rate of descent so that we can slow down to 250 knots before 10,000 feet. And you'll notice that we're a little bit below our vertical profile anyway, which which is good. Almost like it designs it so that you can get down to 250 knots. Yes. Prince Edward Island, right, nice. Yes, yes, welcome to Canada, everybody. Hello, Aviation 9. Nice to have you here. Guy called Aviation 18 that you mentioned does a 1:400 scale replica of Washington D.C. Really? Oh, wow. I'll have to check that out. So there's 250 knots. We'll keep that for now. Shoria, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome to the channel. Oh, Brampton's the Birmingham of Canada. Right, I can picture it. Thank you for the translation, Willie. And we'll turn on our landing lights and our recognition / taxi lights. So we want to be at 8,000 or below by Cyril, and we want to be at 2,700 by Texan. So let's get that dialed down. And we can have a look at the descent rate we need to get there. So 1,100 feet per minute. So we can really reduce our descent rate a little bit more. Oh, they're just sleeping, Jason. They're both asleep on my bed at the moment. But yeah, they're not very active, not very hungry, and a bit bad-tempered with each other if they end up spending too long in the sun. Might be missing the landing because you've got to get a shower and then going to see that coming from Seattle. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, good excuses, Riley. No worries. Enjoy your trip out spotting. Oh, did I? I'm pleased. I studied it for a little while. You may have noticed me go quiet and took a punt. I'm glad I got it right. Just a reminder, if anyone does want to subscribe and hasn't already, you are free to, at your leisure, click the sub button, give the video a thumbs up, and if you'd like to, you can donate via streamlabs.com/filbertflies. Absolutely no pressure, but the option is there. Yeah, mine love it up to a point, and then they just get sort of crotchety. Oh, you just rewatched the Millet to Tokyo Narita flight. Nice. Did you? I can't remember. Did you catch the add-on segment to Hachijojima Aviation 9? They are unusually gorgeous cats. I was lucky. Now this is interesting. Although this is still advising a 2,700 feet per minute descent, sorry, an 1,100 feet per minute descent to 2,700, this purple banana, oh, it's changed its mind now. Purple banana was showing that we weren't going to make it until after Texan, but it's adjusting itself now, and it seems that we're, well, about right. Still thinking about it. Going to bring our speed down now to 200 knots as we approach the fix. Possibly a little early, but I like to be prepared. And because we're on intercept heading, I'm going to switch from nav mode to heading mode, having first synced our heading. And then we'll change the nav source to the ILS. And as we get a bit closer, we'll arm the approach mode, and hopefully it'll capture both the localizer and the glide slope. They're about 5 now, I think. Yeah, they're 5, my cats now. They're in the Pet Pics channel or whatever it's called, something like that. Can't remember what I called it. Other stuff. Yeah, other stuff, Pet Pics. Where's your profile indicator? It was there. Wasn't it? Thanks, Ben. You can always use the speed brake a bit. Yeah, I don't need to though. I don't need to at the moment. Geevy! Welcome! Welcome to Club Filbert. Very nice of you to join up. Thank you very much indeed. If you're on Discord, I think you are on Discord, just make sure that you've linked your Discord and YouTube accounts to ensure you get access to the exclusive private members lounge channels. Oh, did it disappear briefly? I missed that completely. Yeah, do all come and join the Discord if you haven't already. It's where all the cool kids are. Right, let's get our range. Oh Christ, what's going on here? I don't know. Zoomed in a little bit. And we'll activate approach mode. And we'll bug down to our V approach, or our VREF rather, which is the same as our V approach today. And that's going to be 132. Add in a bit more power as we capture the altitude to avoid getting too slow. And at 190 knots we can extend flaps 1. Seems like a good idea before intercepting. You're amazed the altimeter called out 5 on landing at Tokyo Narita. Why? The ones with the dream, they were, yeah, that was a picture of them when they were kittens. So that's working like a charm, this DME from the VOR. So as Willie said, there's no DME for the ILS, but here is our DME from the VOR. Localizer intercept. Ottawa traffic air shuttle 6191, 10 mile final runway 32. It's overshot a tiny bit, but no biggie, it'll sort itself out. Let the speed come down a bit more, and we'll go flaps 8. Get my glass of water out of the way of the flap lever. And we'll get the gear down now before we intercept the glide slope. 170 knots, we'll go to flaps 20. Keep the speed up for a little bit longer. Please capture the glide slope. Yes, it has. It's captured it. Right, I'm gonna have to ignore the chat for now, because otherwise I'm definitely going to balls this up. Just FYI. I'll catch up with you properly on the ground. So we're a little below the glide slope at the moment, but not too much. I mean, it's definitely not lost it, which is good. Alright, I'll catch up with a little bit of chat then. I always end up having to descend 10,000 feet in 8 miles for your approaches. Yeah, it happens to me on occasion too. Right, let's go flaps 35, is it next? 30? 30. Keep the speed up though. Not that much up. Too much throttle, but never mind. And we'll go flaps 40, passing 1,500 feet. Trying to keep the speed on that bug if we can. See, this is interesting. The flight director's giving us a massive pitch down indication for some reason. And we're getting a bit above the... yeah, we are getting above the glide slope here.
Ottawa traffic United 1634.
So I'll disengage the autopilot and fly in by hand. That could have been because my speed wasn't quite right. Don't know. Matthew, if you're watching, is that prototypical or is that a bit buggy still? There's Ben. Can't remember. Didn't hear what he said because I was too busy talking to myself. Ottawa traffic, Air Shuttle 6191, short final runway 32. I'm getting quite a few stutters now, which is unfortunate.
400.
It's looking alright though so far. Famous last words.
300. 200.
Ottawa traffic United 1634, 4 mile final, runway 32.
Brah, bit close.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Here we are, welcome to Ottawa. And we'll try and get off this runway so that Ben doesn't have to go around. Ooh, graphical glitches as well. Crikey. Not just graphical, actual holes in the runway. These were not here the other day when I flew here. Okay, let's get off at this next exit. Satira! I think this might be a renewal, but thank you for renewing and still being in Club Filbert. And if you've just joined and I'm wrong, then thank you for joining. But I think you were already a member. Ottawa Traffic Air Shuttle 6191, clear of runway. Cache error, eh? And what would have caused that? Right. Let's do the after landing checklist. Extreme Pull, thank you for the sub. So the only thing we haven't done is started the APU and turned off the probe heat. Ah, yes, it was. It was like another Florence moment, I know. And I flew to this airport day before yesterday and there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. Thanks, Jason. Thank you. Right, let's pick a stand.
Ottawa United 1634, vacated 32 on Delta.
Oh, blimey, we missed him. There he is. Sorry, Ben, I should have... I was too busy. My head was still in the massive hole in the runway, to be honest. Where should we park? This is a historical flight, so I have no idea where it actually parked. No worries, Willie. See you soon. Thanks for popping by. Oh, I'm sorry, Demetrius. I don't have a replay for you. I didn't record it. Let's take the pretty stand with the big bit of terminal with the nice interior. Not entirely sure if this is how the taxiways work here. I suspect not, but anyway. I meant to come onto this one. Yeah, it felt close. Yeah, so we'll park on stand 17. Here we are. Parking brake set. And while Ben taxis in, we'll check the APUs online, and it is. We'll turn off the engines. That's not how you do it, is it? Silly. This is how you do it. Forgot what plane I was flying momentarily. Nobody worry. Yeah, beacon we can turn off. And we can get a little bit, we can get the jetway connected. But first we'll open the door. Make sure the rails are lowered for the jetway. Put the chocks in. Connect the ground power. Connect the jetway. Look at that. Two beautiful planes. It's not quite the same as catching your landing, Ben, but it's something at least. Is this default X-plane scenery you're using? Stop! Stop! Jason, glad you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Just looking at the community stuff on Steam for MSFS. Okay. Yeah. Where's VHHX? Hang on. I have to look this up now. Oh, that's Kai. No, it's not Kaitak. That was VHHH, wasn't it? Maybe it... I don't know, yeah, where's VHHX? Thank you, Gary, appreciate it. Ah, you can wind it back, Riley. We had an interesting issue with a massive hole in the runway. But anyway, we made it. We're going to do the checklist. Oh, seatbelts, yes. Let's turn the old seatbelts off, set them free. We've had a hard hour and a half's flying, if that. Nose wheel steering we can turn off. And the rest, except for the fuel pumps, we've done. There's something lit here. Continuous ignition. I don't know why that's lit. I did not press it. Anyway. Done! Done! Welcome to Ottawa. Door-to-door service on the 737, yeah. It was a good landing aside from the aside from the hole in the runway, which is not the scenery developer's fault. It's a great scenery. That hole has never been there before. Willie said it was a cache issue. I don't really know what to do about a cache issue, but I'll look into it after the flight. Good. I think we'll leave it there for now, and I'm going to go in the garden a little bit and cool off. But thank you all very, very much indeed for coming along. Thank you, Satira, again for your subscription renewal. It's been a member for 4 months now, which is incredible. Geeby, thank you very much for signing up to Club Filbert. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed and clicked the thumbs up button. I appreciate that. Next stream is going to be on Saturday, when I will be streaming with Ben. Very exciting. Shared cockpit VATSIM event extravaganza. We're going to be flying from Manchester to Tenerife South as part of VAT UK's Great British Group Flight. That's happening at 1200 Zulu, 1 o'clock UK time. Put it in your diaries, be there, it's going to be incredible. But for now, thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.